Hello and welcome to the PNY live webinar about NVIDIA Omniverse. My name is Manfred Pieper and I'm the Regional Marketing Manager at PNY. The presentation will be held by Frank Scheufens, Product Manager Pro Solution for Visualization and Virtualization. This presentation will take about 40 minutes. During the presentation, you have the possibility to write us your questions via the chat function, which will be answered in the Q&A session afterwards. Frank, you have the lead.
So then, hello everyone. So my name is Frank Scheufens and I'm the product manager for professional visualization at PNY Technologies in Europe, which includes the professional graphics cards and also software solutions like vGPU, and now also the new NVIDIA Omniverse software. And today we will have a closer look at NVIDIA Omniverse. I'll start by taking a look at challenges 3D content creators run into today, and then review the Omniverse platform, which can help with these challenges, and I'll show you the available subscriptions. And then I will cover some basics for the deployment of the Omniverse software. So the 3D workflows today have become very complex. They require teams with a broad range of skills. Each of the artists, designers and engineers on these teams typically have a special skill set requiring their own tools, systems, and also work environments. And with so many parts to the workflow, we are seeing an explosion in the number of specialized 3D design and content creation tools, and they lack compatibility or interoperability, which means the workflows are cumbersome. They're strictly linear with a tedious export and import production pipeline, which is then often causing mistakes, time loss, or a model decimation in these processes. And lastly, 3D workflows are growing in complexity with growing demand for stunning, interactive, true-to-reality visualizations, which requires compute-heavy technologies like real-time ray tracing, AI for denoising or iterations, and physically accurate simulation. And these 3D workflows have become very complex. They require teams with a broad range of skills, and each of the artists, designers, and engineers on these teams typically have a special skill set and require their own tools and different applications and even different systems and work environments. And with so many parts to the workflow, we are seeing an explosion of these 3D design tools. I think there was a wrong slide. With the pandemic and the rise in remote and hybrid workforces, 3D workflows are seeing even more barriers on the horizon. Now companies have to address the new normal, so giving access to compute power is extremely challenging for hybrid workforces, which require a physical workstation experience wherever they may be, in the office, home office, or even on the road. Data gravity is also a huge problem. These ultra complex, huge 3D data sets are growing really large, which means they are much harder to move and manipulate. Just think of the import and export of models or transfer from one location to another, while upload rates usually are much lower than the download rates. And data gets also much more expensive to store, especially when keeping this huge data in multiple locations. And finally, the file parity, which is the file that is the single source of truth when you have so many teams, so many individuals, and so many tools, and so many versions of a file. At NVIDIA, they faced every one of these challenges, which then led to the creation of Omniverse. The most important basis for NVIDIA Omniverse was a uniform file format. And here Pixar's Universal Scene Description, or short USD, offered itself as the basis for Omniverse. You can imagine it like the HTML of the 3D worlds. USD was developed by Pixar and later made open source to simplify the exchange of data between different software tools. And USD is already widely used in all visual industries today, including architecture and engineering, manufacturing, product design, and also robotics. And working with USD in Omniverse allows teams to see edits and iterations in real time without moving huge data sets. NVIDIA Omniverse consists of 5 key components that are shown here. First is Omniverse Nucleus. This allows the users to store, share, and collaborate on project data. And it also provides the unique ability to collaborate live across multiple applications. Nucleus or the Nucleus server can be installed on a local machine, on premises in the network, or even in the cloud. And since only the deltas of the change or changes of edits that are made to a scene are exchanged through Omniverse, collaboration with Omniverse Nucleus is ultra fast. And here is then also no need for hour-long or overnight uploading or re-downloading files or entire scenes, because everything is live synced and in real time. And you're only exchanging the deltas of change. Omniverse Connect, these are plugins for applications that enable the communication with the Nucleus server. Omniverse Kit is a powerful toolkit for developers and power users to easily create their own custom tools and extensions to accelerate their workflow. Omniverse Simulation is a powerful suite of core NVIDIA technology that enables the ground truth representation of 3D scenes. Then Omniverse RTX Renderer is an advanced multi-GPU enabled renderer based on NVIDIA RTX that supports both real-time ray tracing and referenced path tracing. So these components together builds NVIDIA Omniverse. And I mentioned the connectors in the slide before, and here is another key point. The connectors are what connects the designers and the applications to Omniverse. As you can see in the table, there are 2 types of connectors with some example applications. The bidirectional connectors shares real-time updates between both the application and Omniverse in real time. This is the live synchronization, and material conversions are supported as well. The unidirectional connector reflects real-time updates in Omniverse, but updates to Omniverse are not shared back to the application. It is then also possible to export files directly to the Nucleus or import and convert files to USD for several common file formats like FBX, OBJ, or step files. You see some more here on the screen in the list. The Nucleus server can hold any file type. So it would be also possible to access, for example, a texture file like a PNG file with Photoshop, make some changes here. And when the file is saved, this change is immediately shown then also in these Omniverse applications that are working on the file at the same time. Then Omniverse comes with several apps that are purpose-built applications designed to accelerate the different workflows. Omniverse apps can be built by third-party developers with Omniverse Kit, which is open source. So we can also think of the already existing applications as examples of what is possible, or even use them as a basis for your own applications that you want to build or create. In the screen on the bottom, I have some example applications that are available with NVIDIA Omniverse. Let's start with Omniverse View. Is a simple but powerful tool designed to visualize design projects in a physically accurate photorealism. Omniverse Create accelerates advanced scene composition and allows users to assemble, light, simulate, and render scenes interactively in real time. Omniverse Machinima is built for GeForce RTX gamers to remix and render stories based on assets from video games. Then Audio to Face generates expressive facial animations from just an audio source, and it's powered by AI. Omniverse Kaolin is a powerful visualization tool that simplifies and accelerates 3D deep learning research by using NVIDIA's Kaolin PyTorch library. Then NVIDIA Isaac Sim is a robotics app designed to import, build, and test the robots in a photorealistic and high-fidelity physics 3D environment. And NVIDIA Drive Sim is for self-driving car simulation, and generating synthetic data. So in this scheme, we can see how Omniverse works. So we have here users with different skill sets using different tools, and they collaborate. And this platform eliminates the tedious import-export difficulties the users are facing normally, and allows the designers to work on incredibly large single source files from everywhere. So on the screen on the left, we have the collaborators working on the different software tools. They compose their part of the scene, whether it's modeling, the props, building an environment, or texture painting, lighting, or adding animations or effects. With Omniverse, they can now connect into Omniverse Nucleus with the Omniverse connectors and work together seamlessly. In the center, we see the core of Omniverse, the Omniverse Nucleus. This is the database and collaboration engine that enables this interchange of the 3D assets and the scene descriptions. And this platform has been built from ground up to be physically based and integrated with core NVIDIA technologies like physics, AI, and real-time ray and path tracing, which means then the scenes built in Omniverse obey the laws of physics and are true to reality. And finally, on the right, these are the viewers that can portal in and out of Omniverse with their workstation or laptops, and even teleporting into Omniverse with virtual reality or out with augmented reality. So anyone can view a scene in Omniverse by streaming it to their device. So now, before I come to subscription and licensing, I want to show you videos so that you can have a better understanding of the possibilities with Omniverse. I have to switch to video mode for this. So this should work now. And go.
Kevin, in the bottom left, is loading the landscape from 3ds Max and aligns it to the Revit building. Dave, in the bottom right, adds windows on the building in Revit with instant results in Omniverse View. Jay, in the upper left, adds the auditorium interior variants using 3ds Max. While Jay in the upper left toggles ceiling dome variants in 3ds Max, Dave is testing results by changing the time of day. Dave in the lower right toggles flooring variants, while Jay connects his interior decoration 3ds Max scene to the stage. Jay in the upper left in 3ds Max is adjusting the artwork position. Ashley, seen in the upper right, is adding indoor plants using Omniverse View. On the upper and lower right-hand side, both Dave and Ashley are painting vegetation simultaneously from their own Omniverse View instances. Dave loads in the cityscape in the bottom right and places it around the building, while Ashley in the upper right is still working on the landscaping. Kevin in the lower left can be seen adjusting the time of day. Dave in the lower right is working on the landscape. He's assigning new materials like the water surface, and then adjusting the time of day. Ashley in the upper right adds a centerpiece in 3ds Max and a chandelier. Dave in the lower right adjusts the time of day and his camera. He's exploring creative options, while Ashley in the upper right is in Adobe Substance Painter editing the art pieces. So in this demonstration, you see how 4 creatives can collaborate and really explore possibilities in context, modify CAD files, inserting thousands of polygons worth of foliage, interactively changing the time of day.
So I also have a much shorter second video that I will show now.
We show multiple users using different 3D applications to collaborate in building a virtual world. On the bottom left, a modeler uses Maya to model a bar in the kitchen. On the top left, a layout artist places objects in the scene with Unreal Engine. A texture painter paints the back wall with Substance Painter on the center left. All updates are merged into the same scene in real time, while path traced rendering in Omniverse Kit on the right.
So the second example was showing Unreal Engine, Substance Designer, and Maya. So 3 applications to work on one file set. And this possibility of interactive collaboration just wasn't available before. No import or export of files is required, even with the different applications that was used here. And also, if you wouldn't work together with different or with more applications, just going from one application to the next would also eliminate that you have to import and export the file that you want to work then on with another application. So I'm setting back to optimization for video. Okay. The NVIDIA Omniverse platform is available in 2 versions. We have a free version for individuals to collaborate between apps and one other person. This is NVIDIA Omniverse Workstation, and it was or is still available as open beta for download. And the plan is that this version will stay available and will be free. Then NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise is a new platform offering that helps businesses of any size transform their 3D production workflows. And to remind, NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise is an end-to-end remote collaboration and true-to-reality simulation platform optimized and certified by NVIDIA to run on NVIDIA certified systems. Using the tools provided with NVIDIA Omniverse will require an NVIDIA RTX graphics card. Then for the subscriptions, here for teams and enterprises deploying Omniverse into development and production workflows, we offer 3 different subscriptions. The creator subscription provides designers and creators Omniverse software for scene creation, simulation, and rendering on workstations and virtual workstations. This subscription includes components such as the kit, the extensions used to develop your own applications, and to create app. It also includes microservices such as rendering and file conversion, which can be batched out on other nodes with up to 64 GPUs per creator subscription. The reviewer subscription provides review and approval functionality for users that view and review content, but don't need the full design and create functionality of the creator subscription. This includes Omniverse View and NVIDIA Enterprise support. And at the core is the Nucleus subscription, which enables the collaboration for creators and reviewers. Creators and the reviewers who wants to make changes on files on the Nucleus server will need a Nucleus subscription, which is a named user license, while the creator and reviewer license are CCU concurrent user licenses, and these can be shared. The named user Nucleus licenses cannot be shared. And all subscriptions include the Omniverse launcher, the connectors with plugins to applications, and also NVIDIA Enterprise support. And subscriptions are provided with both annual and multi-year options. So, and here are the official prices per license. The creator license is $2,000 with a minimum order quantity of 2. A reviewer license is $100. Minimum order quantity is 10, and the Nucleus license is $1,000. NVIDIA has decided here on a minimum order quantity so that users can exploit the full potential of NVIDIA Omniverse. And with this minimum order quantities, a starter pack for Omniverse costs then $9,000. But keep in mind, for up to 2 users, you can always use the free Omniverse workstation version. And also for the enterprise version, you can register for a 30-day trial evaluation license. You could just do a quick search for Omniverse Enterprise Evaluation, and this will lead you then to this webpage where you can register and start your trial. So we're coming now to deployment, and the workstation version is a good starting point to get in touch with Omniverse. You can register for download and then just execute the installation file for the Omniverse launcher. And after installation, you end up with windows like this. See several tabs here. You have the possibility to install then your applications. And you can also set up the Nucleus server on your local workstation. For the GTC in November last year, I prepared a detailed presentation for the workstation installation, which should be still available as recording if you are interested. Let's see if I can share the launch on the screen. I hope you can see now the launcher. So on the first, we have a tab which is called News. Obviously, you'll find here news around Omniverse Enterprise. Then we have a library, and the library shows the applications that are installed. I would like to see here a bell. This is notifying me there is an update available, which I could then just execute here. In exchange, we have the available Omniverse applications. So available, I don't mention all, so we see the Create app that I mentioned before. Omniverse Drive is an application that allows to mount the Omniverse server that is created to a Windows OS as a virtual hard drive. And then you have also access through this virtual hard drive to the files on Omniverse. So we have a lot of these applications already, and more should come also soon. And then here we have the connectors for like 3ds Max, Maya, Revit, and so on. Quite new is that we also have access here to some assets that are directly in USD file format. And when you check on these connectors or also for the applications, you get a lot of information when you scroll down, including like release notes, documentation. It's about the use or installation and so on, also tutorials and even access to discussion forums. Then here's the Nucleus tab that you have seen before. So this is your file server. This is also accessible through a web interface. You just have to copy this URL here, put it in your browser, and then you can access the file server on the browser. And in Learn, you find a lot of tutorials for the application connectors and how to use. So quite useful. And as I said, for the installation in Exchange, you directly have access for the applications. You could just choose the applications and then click on install. Okay, when it's available. Okay, Isaac Sim wasn't available because it's only for Linux. I also have, if it was not installed, you would see here install instead of launch then. Maybe I should use this slide first. For the Omniverse Enterprise Launcher, it's a bit different. The Enterprise Launcher is meant to be installed from the IT department, which then decides which application will be available for the user. We only then have the library tab, which is showing the installed application, the news tabs, and the learn tab. So Exchange for the installation of application and connectors is not available, and also the Nucleus is not directly available. So all these applications will then be downloaded from the IT and installed for the users on their system. This slide is showing the NVIDIA application app. So when you requested licenses or bought licenses, these will be available here in the application hub. And you also have then the download files available that you might need to do the installation for your users. Basically, it's the same as for vGPU. It's using the same application hub, if you maybe already know this one. The installations for the Omniverse Enterprise version are then downloaded from this web page here. So the IT goes to this web page, downloads these files, and installs them then on the workstation. To give you an impression of the plugin integration for applications, I have here a few applications where the Omniverse plugin was installed. And the screenshot here shows Maya, and we see Omniverse in the menu bar. I'm not sure if you see my mouse, so here in the menu bar. And there's menu ribbon here below. And we have here various options available. The red user icon here indicates that there is no connection to the Nucleus yet. You could simply click on that icon to log in then. And with the folder icon, we can open files from the Nucleus server. And with the arrows, we can import or export data. And the slider here activates the live synchronization, this slider button here. In 3ds Max, it looks exactly the same. The user icon is green here already. So I already logged in the Nucleus server, and you also see a Windows is already opened to open a file showing the astronaut.usd. Then in Unreal Engine, integrated Omniverse a bit differently. Here you can find the options in a drop-down menu, and Live Sync is called Live Edit here. For Revit, it looks like this, again, similar to Max and Maya. There is also the option to export a model directly to the Omniverse View app, and the View app is then also started. And if you remember, Revit was mentioned as a unidirectional connector, so there was no live sync option. With the latest update of the plugin, we now also have the live sync with Revit, then shown here. Also this slider button. And NVIDIA is also working with various partners already for a while to improve Omniverse before the official release. Big customers here are for example, BMW, where most of you might have seen or probably have seen the digital twin factory, which was created also with using Omniverse. And Ericsson and Volvo are working on similar projects. Ericsson uses Omniverse for a digital twin city to investigate the 5G network expansion and signal distribution. And then Industrial Light and Magic uses Omniverse for virtual production of feature films, WPP, for commercial production of advertising clips, and Cohn Peterson Fox uses Omniverse for urban planning and design. In principle, NVIDIA Omniverse is suitable with the currently supported applications for AEC and M&E, but this year some plugins specifically for manufacturing will be added. And there is a number of resources to help you get started with Omniverse. The links here provided will take you directly to the relevant websites, like the download of the open beta version, the workstation version, discussion forums, or a collection of over 80 tutorials for the applications, for the components, or for the workflows. Yeah, this maybe is then where you could start investigating Omniverse. Yeah, and as a summary, I would like to reiterate that Omniverse enables the live collaboration between users and applications, regardless of the location, in real time with offline quality. And it eliminates the importing and exporting of files with different file formats. So we only work with USD, only one file format. There are already many plugins for applications, and many more are already in development. Yeah, then the workstation version for 1 or 2 users is free. The enterprise version requires licenses. Windows and Linux are supported. The enterprise Nucleus server is a Linux-only version. And also important is the NVIDIA Omniverse tools require an NVIDIA RTX graphics card. At least an RTX 4000 or higher is recommended. Yeah, and that's all I wanted to show you today. And we can answer questions now. Manfred, do we have questions?
Yes, I have 2 questions, but this was already answered in your last page.
Okay.
Yes, of course, the RTX graphic cards minimum, or we recommended the RTX 4000. And it's available, so the people can use the workstation version and also the enterprise. So this is the only question I have, or I got.
Regarding graphic cards, we maybe should add that it's mostly depending on the applications you want to use. Yeah, so your application you need for this application in graphics performance should be most relevant to choose the graphics card here.
Yeah. And the versions are available for the download, so the workstation version already.
Yes, the workstation version is still available at NVIDIA as, I think, open beta. You only have to register at NVIDIA and then can download the Omniverse Launcher installation file. Yeah, and then you end up with this window. First, you have to set up the Nucleus server, create your username, and so on. You also have to create a login at NVIDIA when downloading, and this is then needed when you set up the Nucleus. And then in the Exchange Hub, you can select the applications you want to install, For a start, this should be Omniverse Create and Omniverse View for a minimum. NVIDIA Marbles maybe is something you want to look at, but it's a small game that you can play it in here. And then, of course, according to the application you have installed, you can then select your applications. And also in every application, you can check for which version the plugin could be used.
Looks easy.
It is when you start to look into it, yeah.
Yeah. Another question I don't have, I check in the moment. Many thanks, Frank, for the presentation. The slides and the video we made available to you in the next few days, and we will send out a notification to you. The only thing I can say is many thanks for your participation, and we wish you a good rest of the week and stay healthy. Your PNY team. Many thanks.
Many thanks also from my side, and bye.